Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to present to you today. I am Felix Arcilla Jr., Managing Editor and Senior High School Instructor, Associate Member of the National Research Council of the Philippines from St. Michael College of Caraga, Philippines. This is our school. Our school is located at Nasipit, Agusan del Norte. Nasipit is located at 8.7 degree north latitude, 126.29 degree east longitude, and 101 meters elevation above the sea level. My topic is about mentoring senior high school researchers toward publication in online journals, a Philippine experience. Mentoring has long been believed to be an effective means of developing students' clinical, research, and teaching skills to become competent professionals. A thesis is never finished unless published. You are almost finished with your thesis and want to turn it into a journal paper, beginning a career as a journal writer and planning to use your thesis for an article as a starting point. Whatever the case, translating a thesis into a journal article is a logical move and a process that every researcher eventually stumbles upon. The objectives are aims to prepare the thesis into publishable format, apply guiding assurance in the manuscript to pass the peer review process, and published in an online journal. Mentoring senior high school students in title hearing. As an English and research teacher, I help my students in writing 5 titles. I group them. I let them narrate the results of stakeholders, interviews to support existence of the problems for research. I also let them cite authors and their statements to support their problem, which are compelling reasons for the study, and discuss how the problem can be solved so that during the title hearing, one of the titles will be approved. As what you have seen in the picture, this picture still tells us that they are grouped and they are now making the title hearing in preparation for their title hearing defense. Mentoring senior high school students in research proposal. After each group has its own title, as a research teacher and research advisor, I help them formulate their chapters 1 to 3, edit and revise their manuscript. Chapters 1 to 3 are composed of introduction, review of related literature, and the methodology. I also discuss to my students about the tenses in research, when to use past tense, when to use present tense, and when to use future tense so that they will be ready in the research proposal. These pictures tells us that some of my students go to my office and I edited their manuscript and revise it. And they are happy that I am their teacher as well as their advisor. Mentoring senior high school students in final defense. Before the final defense, I make sure that the ethical standards of research have been followed. I help them in the transcription of the data and the analysis. I also have pre-final defense, in which as a teacher and advisor, I act as a panel to ask questions to my students and give them the possible questions so that they are ready during the final defense. These pictures tell us that they are already done with their defense and they passed, and they are very happy. Mentoring senior high school students, training on translating thesis to online publication. In our school, St. Michael College of Caraga, after the senior high school students have done their thesis writing, the vice president for the academic affairs set a training schedule. As a research teacher and the managing editor of the journal publication of the school, I had this training on translating thesis into journal publication. I trained and oriented the students on how to prepare thesis into a publishable article. After the formatting was done, as a managing editor, all the manuscripts were subjected to a peer review process, and once passed by the peer reviewers, it will be published online in our respective journals. In our school, we have 7 journals. We have multidisciplinary, computing journal, hotel and tourism management, business administration journal, criminal justice journal, and as the result of my mentoring, SMCC Interdisciplinary or Senior High School Journal is now established and online. I already applied the ISSN for this journal and it will now be found in online. I am happy that being a mentor, I have also shared my knowledge to my students. I also attended and presented conferences and seminars to help myself and to help also to my students. I learned a lot being a mentor and a teacher. It helps me to be patient, especially in guiding the students in revising and editing their manuscript. At first, it's not easy because due to time constraints, I cannot really handle all of them. But by God's grace, on the process, I am able to cope with the situation. I am happy that I am part of the St. Michael College of Caraga, and I'm happy that I am the managing editor of the 7 journals of this school. Online publication allows wider dissemination and other researchers to read and cite your articles. Journal publications, however, have a wider outreach and will encourage you to contribute to your field more significantly. Moreover, it gives personal satisfaction. The study you have done for your thesis is an essential and effort intensive. If you give it to the broad readership and recognition it deserves, and it will provide you with immense satisfaction. And actually, I have also 16 publications and 9 citations. Based on experience, some of the authors would like to thank me for the articles that I published because it gives them courage to write and they also cited my work. Again, research is never finished unless published. Mabuhay. And thank you for listening.
Okay, good afternoon, Professor from Cambodia, and thank you so much for your interesting topic and you have presented. Okay, thank you for that. Now let's move to question and answer section, and we have got a question from our audience from Pixay. The question is research in senior high school recommended and implemented throughout the country? Is it a subject among others that students have to do? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. In the Philippines, research is recommended and implemented, especially in the senior high school, in the K-12 program, because it is mandated by the Department of Education that the research subject should be implemented and based on the competencies that we have. So, and also in our school, so we have in grade 11, we have qualitative research, and in grade 12, we have quantitative research. And after the research, we also have journal publication for senior high school students.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is from Mr. Netra. Could you please simplify on how you could do to achieve your implication of the study? Thank you.
Um, Based on the output of the students, as a managing editor of the journal publication, so I trained and oriented the students on how to prepare their manuscript um, to pass the peer review process and to be published online.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Professor. And one more question, Professor. So, can you briefly tell us about the curriculum for high school education in Philippines? Thank you.
In the Philippines, we have the K to 12 program or the curriculum, and also for now we have the MELCH or the most essential learning competencies that we have been used because it is mandated by the Department of Education, and also a research subject is implemented in our school.
Thank you. Now, the next question is from Jante. The question is, um, how about mentoring with your colleagues or teachers?
Actually, I have also training with my colleagues, especially teachers, for those who are done with their masters and and also their dissertation. So if they are done their dissertation, then I will train them on how to prepare their manuscript to publishable format. And after that, as a managing editor, I will edit and revise, and then I will send that to the peer reviewers. And if the manuscript will pass to the peer reviewers, then it will be published online.
Okay. Okay, the next one's from Mr. Songwat. Can you share experience publication in online learning? Thank you.
Okay, as a managing editor, so before I teach my students in publication, so make sure that I also have publications. Honestly, I have 16 publications from ISI journals and also international journals. So um, in online journals, as a managing editor, I also edit and revise manuscript, and then I also applied for ISSN for every journals. In our school, we have 7 journals. So we have computing journals, education, criminal justice, and also multidisciplinary. And also the last one is the interdisciplinary journal for the senior high school students. And also we have also articles from other countries, from Nigeria, from Malaysia, and Indonesia that that submitted their manuscript for publication.
Okay, thank you. The next question is just a follow-up question from Janti again. The question is, how much time do you spend with the teachers in publishing online? Thank you.
Teacher, most likely in publishing online, after the formatting was done, then it will subject to the peer review process, and then once the correction will be given to the authors, then that's the time they will edit and revise their manuscript. So that also will give them so much time to edit and revise their manuscript if ever there are a lot of corrections in their manuscript.
Thank you, Professor. Now we get another interesting question from Mr. Saudat. Based on your own experiences, what are the most challenges in mentoring your trainees? Thank you.
For me, the most challenges that I have encountered is when my mentee or advices will not follow my instruction. For example, if I edited their manuscript and then I put a revision or comments, and then they will not listen or follow. So that's the time I'm having a problem, because I know that they will not pass if they will not comply all the corrections during their final or the title proposal or their final defense. So that will be all.
Thank you. The next one is from uh, Bon Hien. So, how is the high school exam organized this year in the country? Thank you.
This year is a very challenging year because this year has a COVID-19. So uh, all of the teachers and students are adjusting on this pandemic. So in my research subject, so I have class online, both modular and online. So I am having problem with the modular students because sometimes I cannot reach them because we can reach them through chat. Unlike online classes, so we have a once or twice a week classes. So it's easier for me to handle them, unlike those modular students.
Thank you, sir. Now, one last question for you because we have only 2 minutes left. The question is from Mr. Channa. What is the most important for applying in mentoring at senior high school? Thank you.
Okay, the most important thing that I realize or I observe is that as a mentor, so we need to also to learn from our mentee or our advices, so that we can grow together um, as we go along. So we can adjust and we can adapt the situation. Okay, thank you so much.
So much because we don't have much time. So I would like to say thank you again, Professor,
Thank you
for
so much,
joining
po,
us
ma'am.
and